Wow. Okay. So the week kind of got away from me, but there's a lot here. What the hell? Okay. So I've got comics, I've got Kickstarters, I have got miraculous and beautiful returns. I have some really good reviews. I've got some cool stuff that I just got in the mail. That's a lot. It's a lot. So a very full show. I've got on a white t-shirt. I don't know why. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Well, we're gonna make it fun and we're gonna have a good time with it. Today's gonna be a positive day. I'm not gonna bring it down too much, I promise. I'm not gonna get too serious, but I will get a little serious at the end. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Are you with me? All right, let's go. Hello, folks, and welcome to the Hungry Bleak Show. I am Antonio Pomares, aka the Hungry Bleak, the hungriest man in the room. You can take that however you like. How is the white tee? Are you digging the white t-shirt? Is that good? Is it all right? Not sure. I'm not gonna lie to you folks. I'm wearing this white t-shirt, feeling kind of beefy, feeling kind of, I don't know, feeling very kind of, you know, beefcake geek up here. I'm not sure. I don't know. I might I don't know. Might do something with these shoulders. I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyway, welcome to the show, folks. Hope you had a very good week. It's a little warm. Some people out here musty. We're gonna bypass that. We're gonna have a great show today. Like I said, we've got a lot going on. Some really cool news, beautiful returns, um, incredible week in comics for me. Honestly, I felt revitalized in a lot of ways, and yeah, we're just gonna have a good time and go from there. Cool. All right. So, look, hope you had a great week. Hope everything went well for you. You know, I'm going to talk to you at the end in a little bit about your mental health. Just want to make sure that you're drinking water, maintaining yourself, being cool. First off, though, I do want to say, actually, you know what? I'm talking about the new stuff, the mail stuff now. Um, Outstanding stuff. I got in the mail from Kickstarters. Obviously, I got my copies of Fumes from Emmetropia Comics. Uh, M. Shy and her team did such a fantastic job with this book. I'm absolutely loving it. And don't even ask the question of if we want book two or if we're ready. Just give it to us. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we're gonna go for it and we're gonna love it. Also, Choppin Blades from Damien Becton and his team. Just yo, this book was so much fun and so cool. And yeah, like this is like the smile on my face because I'm reading great stuff and there's so many and the people are awesome and these comics are great. I also love the ad that you had, like the to let us know about that the Kickstarter for issue 2 is going to be coming out soon. I love how this feels like a flyer for a club because that's how I feel after reading Choppin Blades. I absolutely love that. And the fact that there is a soundtrack, which I do have to download as well, but I just got Choppin Blades in the mail today, and I got Fumes yesterday. So I know I wanted to have them on the show because they're awesome, and the creators are great. Shout out to M. Shy S. Dash. Shout out to Damien Becton. Everything you both are doing is phenomenal. Absolutely love it. Yeah, you're just awesome. Okay, so thank you. So let's get into some comic book news. Okay, so first off, we have a new comic coming out called Temporal, and this is from Stephanie Williams and Mad Cave Studios. Now, I've been talking about Mad Cave Studios for a minute now. Between them and Black Box Comics, they're two companies I feel are really just they are right in the pocket. They're in that nice sweet spot, and not enough people are talking about it. We gotta start talking about these companies. Because they are doing phenomenal work, as we see here with Temporal. Like I said, this is from Stephanie Williams, who let's see, Living Heroes, which is where I was first introduced to her. But a lot of people will know her from Nubia and the Amazons, and also Moon Girl and Double Dinosaur. Um, just she is killing it right now. So for her to come out with this book, yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see anybody come out of like Marvel and DC books or runs and put out something original, totally original. I'm always excited. So uh, this is the tagline for it. What happens when reality fractures, which is very interesting. So the tagline is a retired time thief, a broken birthday promise, a cosmic chain reaction that could collapse the multiverse. Well, you already had me as Stephanie Williams. Now I need to buy a couple of copies. The cover A and cover B and whatever variants there are now because you got me. That sounds awesome. I love the idea of time travel or even like a time thief. I love anything that has to do with heists. Some of I have comics that I absolutely love that are heist comics, and they have a bit of a twist on them. Like there's one that is about a heist that's during a kaiju fight. Um, there's another one where a man has an alternate persona, let's say, that is the actual thief. I love anything like that. So when you put time travel into this, which I do like time travel when it's done in a not sloppy way. That's all I'll say. Uh, but I love the idea of a time heist, time thief. Absolutely love that. So this is awesome. So we've got Stephanie Williams. Now this is a 5-issue limited series from Mad Cave Studios. This is from Stephanie Williams, and I see a Fulmore. I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. If I do not, I apologize for butchering it. But I am so excited for this book that you are a part of. And this is just sounds so cool. And there are 2 variant covers so far, which are going to be from Turin Clark and Kari Randolph. You already know which one I was already eyeing because I'm a huge fan of Kari's, obviously. But everything about this book looks great. I love the idea of, like I said, of heist, but then you put in time travel and it's a nice little wrinkle. It just makes it even more interesting to me, truthfully. So this is the synopsis. Once upon a time, Savannah and Marcus were the most skilled temporal thieves in the business. The fact that there's a business of temporal thieves is amazing. I love that. So, slipping through history to acquire rare artifacts, that was before they settled down, had a son, and built a quiet life together. 10 years later, as their son Harper celebrates his birthday, Savannah questions whether suburban bliss is enough. I'm going to stop right there. I love that. I absolutely love settling down, trying to have that life, and then you start getting that itch in the back of your neck. Certain professions, I think you'll have an itch. I would think being a thief would be one, especially if you're a time thief and you're getting these rare artifacts from all across time. That is so cool to me. I love that. And going after that one last job, there's always that part in a heist where it's like, I need to just do that one last job, one last job, one last job, one big job ends. So I'm just more than like stoked for this. This is going to be coming out October 8th of 2025. I am pre-ordering the hell out of this. These are the covers so far. Again, so far. Let's hope it sells out. We get a couple more variants. I would love that. Like some, second print, third print, fourth print, fifth print. Let's go for it. Everything looks beautiful. Like I said, I love the idea. This one obviously is an homage to Back to the Future, which is just one of those, one of the most widely known time travel movies or movies in general, truthfully. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for Stephanie Williams to be doing this project. I think this is awesome. I love going and seeing people go into more creator-owned spaces or these companies that are just on the cusp of just breaking out and knocking us all on our asses. And I think this is definitely going to be one of those knockout punches because this looks amazing. So yes, we're going to have Temporal, which is going to be October 8th. And this is from Mad Cave Studios. So down. I don't know why I said that like that. I apologize. So next up, we have an incredible return, a beautiful return. Gulf Coast Cosmos Comics has a new space. You all know I've spoken to Byron Kennedy a couple of times, had him on the show. One of my favorite people. Absolutely love speaking to him. Knowledgeable, smart, funny, good natured, just has that vibe to him. Well, his incredible store has a new space, which I'm so very happy about. They are on 2408 Wheeler Ave, in Houston, Texas. So they've got free street parking on Wheeler from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So that means you're going to have plenty of time to go in there, shop, enjoy, talk to Byron for a little bit, pick his brain about some comics, see what's going on. They also have events and everything there, so you have plenty of time to go do that. Spend a day with the kids there. Just have a beautiful time. Congratulations to Byron and everyone at Gulf Coast Cosmos Comics. I'm so happy that you have this new space, and I'm hoping that you'll have this space, and then you'll create another space, more spaces all around, all at the same time, just doing something harmonious. We need stores like this. The fact that I love the fact that you're an educator. I love educators in geek spaces because they have a true love for it, and they're able to see the craft and to see the work and to really be able to even delve even deeper to some of the messages and some of the layers in comics, movies, gaming, whatever particular thing it is in geek culture that they're vibing with. So what have you. Got to speak to Byron about comics. Got to speak to him about Sinners, which was great. If you haven't seen our Sinners episode, go and see that Hungry After Dark episode where we talked about Sinners. It was so much fun. That group of people. So yes, congratulations to you. Absolutely, well earned, needed, because you're like, we need your store. We need stores like yours around because they help and they do so much. So thank you for everything you do as an educator and also with your comic book shop. Awesome stuff. Congratulations. Another return, which is beautiful, is Black Sci-Fi returns. This is awesome. Yeah, so unfortunately, things happen. Sometimes you have to step back. You have to, do what you got to do. You've got to, just be a human being and take care of life things, what have you. So what have so Black Sci-Fi was gone for a little while, but it is back in all its glory as always. This is Black Sci-Fi. I don't think gets enough credit as being, a hub for what's happening in Black geek culture, whether it's novels, gaming, space, STEM. I believe even there's been talks of music on there, I want to say as well. It's just everything that's on there. Kickstarters, what's coming up, what's just all manners of things. So this is one of those shows that's coming back. Not shows, but one of those those needed jewels that's coming back, and it's here, and it can do an amazing thing. You'll have op-ed pieces, you'll have a little bit of everything, which is beautiful about Black Sci-Fi. But it was something that we didn't have for a while. It was gone, and we needed this juggernaut to be back. And I think honestly, there was a hole there. There was something definitely missing from not having Black Sci-Fi here. But Black Sci-Fi is back and better than ever, telling us about everything we didn't know that's going on in the culture, whether it's on the Blurdar, which is, just letting us know what's going around now, the blips, reviews on television shows, movies, comics, obviously, telling us about, anniversaries of certain things that are out there, just a whole gaggle. Can I use the word gaggle? Can I use that? Sure, why not? A whole gaggle of everything. Like you can, there's merch as well. Obviously, some beautiful things that you can always get on there because you got to look right. You got to look right. If you out here representing, you got to look right. Everything from hoodies to totes to what have you. Got to love a little bit of that stuff. I mean, obviously, as you can see. Thank you. But a bit of everything, from, like I said, to that, to different contributors, authors that are all over the site. Some people some people don't know, some of your favorites. people that you may not have heard from in a bit, but they're there. But I want to say thank you to Maurice Waters, and Robert Jeffrey. They are the two who asked me to be a part of Black Sci-Fi, and I did not know what I was going to be getting into, but to be up there, um, and to just say thank you very much. And it's great to have things like this. Like, Kenesha Williams obviously is another one. Tiara Jonte. I mean, the list could go on and on and on. So the Breaker Dawn is on. I don't believe I just did that. I should not have done it. That was crazy. But you'll have so many different things you can find on here. So it's beautiful that that Black Sci-Fi has made its triumphant return. And there's just going to be so much more coming from them. Obviously, there's always something that you can find on the site that's important and needed, much like reviews that I've done for comics. Oh my goodness, is that wow? Is that? And those are only a couple because I've done more for them. But you know, the site's coming back, bringing back some old things and bringing up new things there. Awesome. Congratulations, Maurice. Congratulations to everyone at Black Sci-Fi. Onward and upward, because that is what truly matters with an incredible site like blacksci-fi.com. Awesome. And yeah, so that is excuse me. So that was some of the news that's been going around and things. Like I said, very, very pleasant. Got some new stuff coming out. We got returns. It's beautiful. But you know what else we got, folks? We have got Kickstarters. And y'all know Kickstarters don't stop. They just keep rolling. But there are some amazing ones that I'm going to get to. Some that are coming up, some that are out already. There was one that I was not very much privy to. I kept seeing the ads, but as little as I'm on social media, I'm kind of just running through stuff and running literally from my phone. But I wanted to talk about some of them as well. One of them is Midnight Mystics. I had to actually check this out, and I had to pledge in for this because I love projects like this. So Midnight Mystics, an anthology of fantasy comics by Black women. You had me at hello. We need to be pushing on this one. Absolutely. This is just cool. A comic anthology featuring 10 fantasy stories from Black women creators. Yes, I absolutely love this as well. This is from Burning Phoenix Press. Excuse me. I love the idea of anthology. I think they're cool because you're able to. I love when anthologies are done by indie companies more because they're able to give those people time to do the stories and for it to breathe and expand, and you can enjoy it. Sometimes with Marvel and DC, like when they do their power books, they putting in so much and they're jam-packed everything in there so tightly, you really don't get a chance to enjoy the creative team or enjoy the story or the characters that they're using that they're probably not going to use for another year, which is a lot of times what happens. Let's be honest. So I love seeing anthologies. Pardon me, my nose is itching. That's why I'm doing the rabbit thing. I love seeing anthologies in indie comics because they're going to give them more time to breathe, to flow, to really pull out what they want from that story, and for those creatives to really showcase their talents, their skills, and what they can do with their stories. Like I said, I was not really privy to this until I saw a video from, I believe it was Midnight Comics, I want to say. So shout out to them. I've been, I was like, okay. And once I saw it, I was like, okay, bet, yeah, I got to get on this. Plenty of wonderful tiers that you can go through where you can get digital or physical copy, which is always fun, and this is one that we definitely need to publish. Anything that's out there that is predominantly black or black female, black female presenting, black queer, black non-gender conforming, anything like that, I always want to be a part of, and I always want to showcase and speak on and pledge and speak it into fruition because it's beautiful, and a lot of us are not getting to hear it. I've only heard about this the last couple of days now, and this campaign's been going on for quite a while. So when things like that happen, we're not getting a lot of that, those voices out there and seeing it. It hurts, man. It sucks. It sucks like hell. So we have people like Stephanie Williams, again, outstanding. We have Sally Lockhart, Phoebe Holmes, Toji J, Ryan Oakley. This is obviously a big group of heavy hitters. So you want to get in on this. You have 8 days for this. Please, let's get this funded. We need to start really hammering this down, and we need to start not just sharing it more as far as like posts, but we can make little videos. If we can put them on shows, if we get anything that we can do like this, will always be appreciated, because we want these projects to be out there. We want our stories to be told. We want these projects to be out there. We want them to be funded. It's so important. So yes, let's get Midnight Mystics funded. Okay, we have 8 days. Let's push. Okay, I know it's summertime, it's hot. You want to be inside in the air conditioning, in your ace, in your central air, in front of your fan, drinking some iced chai or water or whatever it is, Kool-Aid, Hawaiian punch. I don't know why you drink a Hawaiian punch. That's on you and whoever you decide to pray to. I got to deal with that. And sitting back and reading something really cool that's going to just make you feel so relaxed and chill, and you're just going to be like, damn, that was good. Now I'm waiting for if there's going to be a second one, which hopefully there will be, and a third and a fourth, and spinoffs and everything, and a whole shared universe. So let's do that. Okay, so Midnight Mystics, this is on Kickstarter. Just type in Midnight Mystics, you'll be able to look it up. Go pledge whatever you're able to. Find a tier that fits you just right, and let's make sure that we get this one definitely in everyone's hands. All right, cool. That was, yeah, I just love books like this. So actually seeing the post with someone speaking about it made me go, okay, that's cool. Sometimes it's more about a person speaking than seeing posts, I'll be honest with you, Abby. Next one up is One Nation Arc 1 by 133 Art. This guy, he pops up everywhere. This guy. This is a 133 Art. Jason Reeves and his crew. Well, they are going to be collecting this. So this isn't up yet, but it will be coming up soon. This is going to be an omnibus of the One Nation stuff. This is going to be coming out on August 5th. This is very cool to have, like, which 133 Art and the One Nation verse, there's so much there. So to be able to put everything together in an omnibus is no small task. I implore you, that is no small task at all. So to have enough stories and enough creative material, excuse me, I apologize, to have so much creative material for that, from world building, because you cannot have an omnibus if you have not built an incredible world, a universe, a web of characters. You cannot. So this shows a lot, and there have been so much there. These are just some of the details about the omnibus. 300 plus pages of superhero heat, Paragon's rise, and the tense first mission. What? You bugging. You got to be bugging. If you're a fan of big stories and big teams and shared universes, like if you like MCU and DC, obviously, Invincible's world, anything like that, but you've been looking for characters that look like you, that are you, One Nation is going to be where you want to be at, especially with this omnibus. I can't imagine the tiers and the stuff that's going to be out there. It's going to be maddening to see. And Jason, I love how he has these ideas about doing things. Like, obviously an omnibus is great, because I don't know very many people who are having an omnibus of their work, and a hardcover omnibus is outstanding. He also had the idea of having like a year pass for a Kickstarter, where you pledged and you would get particular books automatically sent to you because they were part of that pass. That was one of the dopest ideas, and I love that. I absolutely love that idea, because I love anything that's like almost like a membership kind of a thing, where you're like, oh, well, I paid this price, so I'll be getting these 3 or 4 or however many are the comics for this particular series or this particular character or this whatever. Excuse me, folks. It is almost past my bedtime. You know how I'm up early, up at 3 o'clock this morning. So yes, this is going to be August 5th. One Nation Arc 1 Omnibus. Definitely going to be checking this out. I believe I'm going to be having Jason on as well once the Kickstarter goes live, and we will be having a lot of fun with that one. I can guarantee. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that voice. I apologize. I don't know why I did that horrible Cajun accent. Do not know why. But not to be outdone, next one that's going to be coming up is Shield of the Interceptor 6. This is from Unstoppable Comics. This is JD and the crew. This is the Golden Moon Part 2. Interceptor is the first comic from Unstoppable Comics that I saw. I forget where I even saw it, honestly. I know it had to be on social media somewhere. And I was like, wow, and I remember going to see his booth that day. And I was like, wow, I've never seen a like a character who was a footballer and everything. There's so many things I hadn't seen from a character like that. Like black character. He's like, oh yeah, well I've got this, and just been following him ever since, and just over time becoming friends and sharing, our love of comics and cons and everything, which is a beautiful thing. So, yes, Apple Comics has got this coming out. Always excited by what JD and his crew are going to be coming up because Unstoppable Comics is a family business. They are, if I wanted to say, I would say they're the first family of comics. I don't know about the Fantastic Four, but I know that JD and his crew are the first family comics that I can think of. So basically, this is a story of Interceptor, who was a footballer, but he became a superhero because he got this shield, and the shield is the companion to Excalibur. Because you always hear about Excalibur, but then you go, oh, if you have a shield, excuse me, if you have a sword, you should have a shield, especially in Arthurian legend and such. So this is the story of Interceptor has this shield, and it's the shield that goes with Excalibur, which is awesome. This is the 6th issue. This is I think one of like the flagship titles of Unstoppable Comics. I think it's just beautiful and amazing. I mean, look at this cover. This variant cover after Wizard. We all remember Wizard. Awesome stuff. It's got some of the nicest variants possible. I love this one right here. This one is just beautiful as hell. Jesus, man, what the hell are you doing to us? Yeah, this is one of, like I said, the flagship characters of Unstoppable Comics. Figure. It even has little figures. This is what I love. He has like little like action figures that he's been getting of different characters. He has an Interceptor. He has a Dragon Storm. I'm trying to think who else he has them of. I don't know. He has a few, and he has like them having like different variant suits. Like almost if you were to pick like a fighting, when you would pick a character in a fighting game, and you could pick like different shades of color for their suit. He has that for them as well, which I love. This is a company that I love, that I believe in, that I trust with storytelling, with consistency. They're one of the best out there, bottom line, bar none. That's it. That's all I can say. They're one of the best out there doing it. So yeah, Shield of the Interceptor. I don't see a date just yet. But when I hear about the date, I will definitely be hearing it. I will definitely be telling about you. Like I said, for these Kickstarters, they're not up yet. For One Nation Arc 1 and Shield of the Interceptor and our next one, actually, they're not up yet. But what you can do is you go to this page, their sign up page. You go on and you click notify me, and it'll notify you either with an alert here or an email. They'll tell you and say, hey, the Kickstarter is live, and you'll go. You want to go and sign up for this because it helps them in the long run. Because the more followers they get for that particular comic, it'll really help them get out of the gate strong when it does go live, and it can hopefully become one of the projects that Kickstarter loves, because they'll have the project we love like logo on it, and that really helps them to promote it more. That gets them on the front page of the of the site. It does a lot for them. So yes, please go and get notifications for these Kickstarters. It's important. It really helps them, and that's what we need to do, is really get the ball rolling before the comic is even out, which is what I absolutely love. Now the next one, like I said, because I was so inundated with these things, because this was one that caught me off guard. I think they actually just announced it too, which makes it even funny, which makes it even funnier to me, because I was like, oh, I didn't even know this was going to be happening. And that's why I'm trying to type it now for you folks, which is another one, which is going to be Kamikaze. I hope I'm pronouncing that. I hope I actually spelled it right, because I don't have my glasses on, and I don't think I did. So there. Yeah, the Kamikaze. Excuse me. This is volume 4. Now, to volume 4 alone is ridiculous. But I'm so happy that they're getting this series out again, because this is one of my favorite series out there. I absolutely fell in love with it. And they've had, like I said, 3 really great volumes out there. So Kamikaze Volume 4. I just saw this today being announced. So that's why I'm like, oh my God, there were a few things on here that were not on here when I originally set up this episode. So I said, hell with it. They're here. I'm going to talk about them now. Let's do it. Let's go. So Kamikaze Volume 4, this is not out yet. Like I said, it was just announced. But they've already got 43 followers, which is great. If we want to try and get them to 100 or more. If these projects that haven't come out yet, they get 100 or more, like I said, it really gets them on that front page and it gets them even started more. This series is so great. It's sci-fi, cyberpunk, action, espionage. It just has this really great, cool feel to it. I remember reading this on the train to New York and absolutely falling in love with this. They've had, like I said, 3 previous ones. They have Volume 1 and Volume 2. Volume 3 was an anthology series where it had obviously different stories. That one was great. I was so proud of the 2 of my very great friends and incredible creators, Robert Jeffrey and Takia Marie. They had work in Volume 3. So this is awesome. To even be able to see. I love this. So this is some of the preview art for it already, and yes, bring it. I don't even know why I have to even talk about this. This is great. It's going to be 120 out here. It'll say 120 pages. Y'all saw I almost ripped my ears off, right? 120 pages of gravity-defying cyberpunk post-apocalyptic. What is wrong with my lips and my tongue? It's ridiculous. That's part of being a beefcake, I guess. I don't know. Goodness, this is a series I love. Team Kamikaze is so awesome. I've gotten to speak to a couple of them on, I think it was like Instagram. Such nice people, awesome. When I would show up their books and I would show them I'm reading them, they were always like, thank you so very much for showcasing. I'm like, thank you very much for putting out these really great and cool stories. Kamikaze is just one of those that I absolutely love. So yes, Kamikaze. Let me come Kamikaze Volume 4. Be on the lookout. But like I said, go to the page. Hit notify me. Like I said, they'll send you a notification if you have the app, or they'll email you. Either way, you'll get to know it. You'll go on there and you will be able to see all the cool goodness that is available here for you. So those are our Kickstarters, folks. A lot of great comics out there. I gotta say, just amazing stuff. Awesome. But now we're going to get into what's here now, right? Of course. Yes. Okay, cool. So we're going to do some comic book reviews real quick. These comics had me on my, like, just ass. I'm going to be honest with you. Great weeks of comics. I'm sitting here and I'm like, people are really putting out some of the best stuff possible, and it makes me smile. Like, nothing's made me go, I'm not reading that crap. That's it. Once you really decide to start choosing particular comics, going certain routes, you will have a good time. But if you choose just anything and you read comics that don't make you laugh or smile or feel good for like 5 issues, and you go, oh, well, that story's good, then so first one up is Wild Animals. This is from Mad Cave Studios. Wow, who would have thunk it? This is a visceral revenge story. You all know I do like revenge stories. In comics, they are very interesting to me. I'm gonna try to show you some stuff. Not gonna be able to show you everything, obviously. But like I said, Wild Animals. This is from Mad Cave Studios. You can see some of the variants here. With this one, I like Albion Flats officers found not guilty. So you can kind of figure where we're going to be going. So this is from writer Ed Breeson. Artist is Andy Kunn. Color artist is D. Quinil, I want to say. Letterer is Rob Jones. This was cool. This is basically about this young man whose mother's in the hospital. He's been like a caregiver to her, visiting her and everything. And he has these burns on his face. And he goes to work and he's trying to do everything he can. She doesn't know how bad or how depressed he actually is. Uh, he's about to get evicted. So the landlord is like, look, man, I need to rent by, this time. I'm going to kick you out. He's working this job that he's not really happy with. And he ends up getting beat up at work, which is ridiculous. All the while, like I said, he walks around with these burns on the left side of his body. Come to find out where they're from in just a moment. So this is his landlord's about to kick him out. Um, and he starts going back through memory lane about his mother and his father, and how his father was a cop. His father was killed because he had talked about these cops who were doing these dirty cops, and they killed him. But in the midst of trying to kill him, they threw this hot grease out trying to get him, but they ended up getting it on the boy who grew up to have these scars on his face, and they kill the father right in front of them both, and it just breaks them. And at a certain point, he just loses it, and he's like, "I'm done. This is messed up." Goes to work, gets beat up at work. Um, just trashed by this group of kids, and they rob the store, and he just isn't having the best time. Then he goes and he finds out while that was happening, he was trying to get to the hospital, his mother had passed, and it breaks him, and he just decides, I'm done. And he realizes that he just has to go after these cops. He realized that everything that's bad that's happened to him are because of these cops that killed his father, and just that was his fixed point in time where everything broke. That was the moment he said everything's done. So you end up getting this visceral story of these cops and how they were cleared in the death of his father, which makes it even worse. He knows that they did it because he was there and he saw it. And he decides to unleash, and he starts out to unleash on the same kids that robbed him the day before in the store. He's breaking and he's crying. This one hit me in the feels in a huge way because of everything he goes through, between his mother being sick, him getting beat up and robbed at work, his mother dying at that point, him going back and going through memories, and his father being murdered by his partners because he was trying to be a good cop. About to be kicked out. He's got a job he doesn't care about, a dead end job, and he just I wasn't even showing you the art. I'm terribly sorry, folks. It's just that's how much this comic affected me. It was just so hit and so devious. I love this cover because this cover kind of tells you everything. I'm gonna burn it all, but these are the ones that started it, and everything he goes through. This scene really hit me when they're actually in the hospital. He's talking to his mother. She's asking about school and work, and you see his burn, and then you see how people react to the burn. Whenever people see scars on someone, they really act. They act almost like they're repulsed, like they'll recoil. Stop that. Him being almost kicked out, him being close to being evicted, then going through everything with the father and the memories, and you see it, and the hot oil on him, and him passing out, and the father laying there dead, and the mother holding the boy in front of her dead husband while these dirty cops run through the door is so just jarring. But the scene that made me go, I think I'm on board for all this, was this page right here, where he's sitting there and he's like, she died alone. I wasn't there. I wasn't there to be with her. If I was there, maybe things would have been better. I've been there. My mother and her sickness, her health woes, I've been there. And I know that guilt, even though logically or I should say rationally well, I couldn't have stopped that. I don't have the ability. I don't have the medical degree or the training or the expertise or anything. But it still hits you because you're the only one. You're there. You're the caregiver. So this scene, I felt everything, and I said, whatever he does next is going to completely and totally decimate this town, what have you. He knows that he's on a one-way trip to whatever he does. So this comic, Wild Animals, is just, yeah, it's visceral. It's going to get you in your feelings because of the story, and you can already tell that at a certain point, it's not going to be a story that's going to end well, or um, be gleeful, and that sometimes revenge stories are like that. I've read a few revenge comics where they always have that line: "If you seek revenge, first dig two graves." And a lot of times in these comics, it does make a difference. Thank you very much, Seth Farrell. I appreciate that. Always appreciate you and your support. You're just one of the most supportive people out there, whether the project is about you or about someone else. And that's just really important. So thank you very much for that. I truly appreciate that. Excuse me. Yeah. So, Wild Animals out of this was number one out of Mad Cave Studios is just, yeah, it just definitely is a comic that hits you. Another one that hit me is Choppin Blades, number one. Yes, absolutely yes. This one 1,000 times yes. I had a ball with cheese. I was reading this and I was just having a ball with this. Yeah. So Choppin Blades number one. This is from Damien Becton. Just phenomenal job with this one, guys. Seriously, I mean, this comic had me wanting to listen to just yeah, I have to get that soundtrack now. So this is writer is Damien Becton, artist is Marco Mercuri, colorist is Antonio. Hey, wait a second, Antonio Ramos Wong. Letterer is Reed Hinckley Barnes. Editor is Devin R. Scott, and logo book design Damien Becton. So this was awesome. Yeah, this is not this Damien's description of this book didn't even do it justice. I had so much fun with this book, man. This took me out of my day. Let me tell you something. So this is basically this is basically black sorcerers. Um, Magic is known, but it's not like how you think about it. How you like sleek in New York and everything. This is dirty South. Wow, this is awesome. And instead of having like like how like slick cars like whatever like sleek European or the most aerodynamic designs, these are straight up like they got the big rims, candy paint, you know big ass dude, I don't know how to describe this guy, but I loved it. So basically, yeah, this is a world where magic is known. They're black sorcerers and they ride around in their rides and they have magic, but then they can also arm their cars with magic as well. You know how you would see a scene in in like uh like James Bond or what have you, where he would load up the car, like he would load up the car with machine guns and this and that, what have you. They have that, but it's with magic. So you can load up the car with different types of magic. Like you might have a fortification spell. You might have like where the tires will turn to I don't know what like they'll levitate the car or like it just has so many things. I love the idea of arming the cars with magic instead of like your conventional like machine guns and bulletproof glass and all that. You're basically arming them against magic because you have others out there riding around, and you don't want to and you don't want and you don't want and you don't want to catch anybody riding around dirty. Sorry, I apologize for that reference. And so and each of the QWERTY codes that you'll see, you scan that and it's music that'll take you deeper into that scene, which yes, I love. And I love how they'll be showing off their cars, have like car shows, everything on the street, but they'll be showing off the magic as well that goes along with the car. Uh, so we have the characters in the car, and they see someone and like, look, we have to get back that amulet. That's the amulet. We need to get that back. So there's like a car chase where they go find the guy looking for it, and it ends up becoming this battle. But then they also will be blasting music as well. And at a certain point, they're like, "Oh, well, why don't you blast music?" It's like, "No, man, you can't blast music because then the cops will come." But they're not regular cops. They look like these like enforcers, which I'm sure is going to be more about them later on in the game. excuse me, the game. I wish there was a game of this. Later on in the comics series, but you can see how each of the cards is kind of loaded with the magic, as you can see from the colors and the aura around them. I absolutely loved it because of the feel of it being in an area I'm not familiar with. First off, like this wouldn't be New York. Like this would be something different. This is Third Coast City, which Third Coast now means anything that borders like the Gulf of Mexico. It's still the Gulf of Mexico. Don't give it out of the mess. Gulf of Mexico. Let's be adults. Gulf of Mexico. So down south. And at a certain point, we arrive by a billboard, and you see that there's this this like vehicle derby where you use magic in your car as it. So Damien described it as almost like a twisted metal with magic. And yes, but he did not give it justice. That had to be like the elevator pitch. He could not go any deeper than that. I absolutely love the idea of that. And for our character Ryan, who is the son of one of the best of them to do it. So how does that work in? Are we going to see that at some point in this comic? I believe we will. As we are riding around with these characters in his car, going after another character. You can see how, let me see if they show it. That one, and you can kind of see it in that one. But you'll see how he talks about like arming the car. Like as he's doing the spell, you can see that like a cloaking spell. But then there are points when, let me see if I can find the page. Because everything with the magic is them almost like flossing, almost like them flexing their muscles, their magic muscles. I absolutely love, like I said, I love the fun of it, the musical aspect. I love the characters. I love that it's not glitzy glamour, but this is what magic would be in the streets. There's no special whatever, and everyone is ready for it. And you have different spells that happen. I had a ball reading this. I cared about the characters. I want to see. I'm very invested because I want to know about that damn tournament and the derby. I want to know when they learn magic, because I saw at one point they said a high school spell, and I said, "Oh, so when are y'all learning magic?" That's interesting to me. And I cared about the characters because one of the characters turns out to be like a turncoat, and I was like, "Oh, this guy had to be the one." Damien knocked out of the park with this, and your whole crew. This was fun. It was entertaining. It took me out of my day. It made me want to be a part of this, but I would be hiding behind stuff on the streets because I don't want to get caught with a stray spell. And at the end, there was a dragon. I don't even know how to respond to that part because I wasn't expecting a dragon. And he pulled out a dragon. So Choppin Blades #1. Go and check this out. It should be available now to actually be for purchase. If not, wait a little bit. But this book was definitely worth it. I love when a comic takes me out of my day and I'm just like, what the hell? This was awesome. And Choppin Blades definitely did that. There's even like a little glossary in the back for people like me who don't know the terms maybe down south. And I respect that and I appreciate that. And because there were like 3 terms I was reading, I was like, no real context clues in here. I'm not going to get this. But they had the glossary. I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. The next one is Ghost Pepper. This is one that I had actually showed last week, previewed it. This is one I wanted to get into, and hot damn, I don't even know what to tell y'all about this. Okay, but this is Ghost Pepper. This is from Image, Skybound. This was just awesome. Jesus. This one was just one that was just awesome. All right, so creator, writer, artist, letterer. It shows. It shows. This is Ludo Lullaby. Colorist is Adriano Lucas. So this is a world where there was a big battle, and this is kind of an apocalyptic world, where there was a lot of comics are apocalyptic nowadays. I wonder why. This was where there was this big battle, and this almost superhuman being sent the scourge that was upon Earth, sent him to the moon. And now the world is just recovering after that. Is living everyone's living in a world after that and what happens. So it's very apocalyptic. You still have people kind of panhandling, telling stories about this. You have like robots, cyborgs, cybernetics, thing like that, kind of dust bowls. But we come across this woman who is cooking. She's cooking her ass off, and she uses a special ghost pepper in this particular snack. And this little boy goes up and loves it. He's eating it. It's great. I even love the scene of her cooking it. It was very Food Network-ish, kind of Chopped, where you're getting items that you don't know what the hell they are. You don't know what you're going to do with them. You just get that mystery basket. We've all seen Chopped, so you know. It goes from there. And she's got the best food out there. She got a little food truck, and she gives them the food. They're happy. I love seeing that. These robots come up and they're like, "You shouldn't be here. You don't have the right to be here." And she's like, "Oh no, I have a right. Got forms and everything." She's like, "No, not you, him." And you see this man sitting there who you didn't see before. I didn't see him before. I'll probably read again. I didn't see before, but he's sitting there reading, eating food, or at least trying to eat the food. They're being bothered, and he says, "Oh, well, they're here for me." And he kicks the whole van out of the way so they don't get hurt. And it's him sitting there as he's trying to eat his noodles, his ramen. First off, when I saw the noodles, I immediately thought of Shanae and Jabba Chan. Shanae Williams, incredible artist, huge ramen enthusiast, as well as Jabba Chan, who you know as being an incredible artist and gamer, streamer, and also being one of the co-hosts of TBA News. Thank you very much. And you see that he's not a regular person, because before this robot can destroy him with his blast, he has ripped it in half. And he goes through these other robots like a hot knife through butter. And it's realized that he's different. All the while he has this little robot on his shoulder, almost like Jiminy Cricket, which is actually the robot's name is actually Jiminy. And it plays kind of like a kind of like a conscience. In a way, you can look at this as being a super cybernetic Pinocchio, in a way, I guess. Don't know if he's a real boy yet. Don't know what he is yet. But at the end, you're not sure at all. You just know that he's incredibly strong, super strong, like Superman peak strong. But all the while, his activities have alerted someone, and they're like, he's here. This guy's here, and he's really strong. Someone sees and goes, "Oh my God, wait, I didn't know he was still around. He can't still be here. He shouldn't still be here." Don't know. Could this be the one who saved the world all that time ago, the great Batar? Or is this someone else? Or is he actually the scourge that was supposed to be gotten rid of, who's not on the moon? We don't know yet. But the feeling of the comic is it's got this beautiful manga anime kind of vibe to it. Like I said before, I'm loving how more and more artists now are being influenced by manga and anime, and they're bringing it to the West, but also giving it like that Western kind of storytelling as well, melding the two arts. I love that, putting that in a Western comic. Loving the vibe, tastes great. By the end of this episode, you want to know who the guy is, but you also realize that he will never get to eat ramen, because I think 2 or 3 times in the comic he's interrupted and he's not able to eat his noodles, and you feel bad for him. Meanwhile, he's incredibly strong, fast, seems to be invincible. Not the character invincible. I mean, his body is invincible. You knew what I meant. And Jiminy is the only one who can really calm him down from when he gets into these rages of being angry and not being able to do what he wants to do and feel it. Like I said, I was floored by this. The art has this really great scope. I always say that I love kinetic art when your character moves at super speed, and you can feel the near you, or you can't even register it, because by the time you register it, the character's already over there, and there's nothing but like a dust cloud. And his strength, at a certain point, he lifts an item that was so big. Yes, we see the panel here. He lifts this thing, which is this huge thing here. Oops. He lifts that huge thing. As she's trying to push, she's like, "Oh, I've got it." And you see him like lift it. That's him. I'm curious about what he is. I'm invested because I love seeing this through her eyes, and she's like, "What the hell is going on here?" But also, there's something about her that's different as well. Because I love when she was cooking, she used the ghost peppers. There's something there, obviously, the comic called ghost pepper, and also the fact of someone chasing after him. And I want this story. This is so awesome. I'm glad I was able to get a hold of this, read it. So much fun. Loved it. Yes. So let's go with Ghost Pepper all the way. I'm feeling it. I'm loving it. I'm vibing off of it. This is from Skybound, like I said, which is a line of Image. Ghost Pepper is awesome. Just came out this week, so you still have time to go and get it, read up on it, and have some fun with it, folks. So this last one, this was one that I was not expecting. It came up, and I said, "Okay, bet I'm going to buy it today." And this is Morian, Volume One, Monster Hunter. This is Morian is like from a Arthurian legend. Is the Black Knight, literally and figuratively, Black Knight. Uh, this is one I've been waiting for. This one since 1943. I was a young boy in Tupelo, Mississippi. It was myself and Mudbone. And if you get that joke, thank you. I appreciate you. If you get that reference, I appreciate you. Thank you. No, I've been waiting for this one for years, and so glad that it came up. I said, well, I've been waiting for years. I'm not waiting any longer. It's available. I'm going to get the digital right now. So this is Morian. This is from Black Heroes Matter. Awesome. Look at some of these covers, and the art is just beautiful. So everything you learn about King Arthur and the Round Table was a lie. So this is basically a story of Morian, the Black Knight, the knight you don't ever really hear about as being a part of the Round Table with Arthur. At a certain point, Arthur stopped being the good Arthur that we know, and he became this kind of tyrant. And then the Knights of the Round Table almost became like his kind of like secret police, his enforcers. So he said Camelot's true champion was a black man named Morian. So it even says, so this is actually from, let's go with it first. First, it's story. It's from Urias. My eyes bother me ridiculous. We have Cy Rodriguez. We have Mateo Illuminati, who is one of the best artists out there, bottom line, bar none. I feel like he is hitting this huge stride, and everybody's after him. He feels like one of the biggest artists in the indie sector right now, and that's not me downgrading it at all. His art is just incredible. It's phenomenal. It's awesome. I was introduced to the Mateo's art in Mind to Avenge, so I've been following him for a minute. When I see his art, I know, okay, oh, this has got to be Mateo's. And when I do get the book and I look through the credits, Mateo's there. Awesome. We have Shun. We have Mashindo Kumba. Mashindo's always going Mashindo. And his art is always beautiful, amazing. We have Ray Bermudez. We have Trevor Nagewa. Robert Nix. Keith Ann Jones, another name I know, very much so. Willington Nomo. Ariana Pisani, and the Zong brothers. This book is beautiful. There's so many different. First off, I love the art pieces before everything. That kind of introduce you all the different these different pictures of Morian in different poses with different creatures and everything. And it's the greatest story ever told. So basically, this is the gist of the story. There's another picture of Morian. They are all so damn cool. And Urias gives us a little backstory on what's going to be there. But this story of it is 5th century AD, the twilight of the old world. The mighty Roman Empire has collapsed, abandoning the Isle of Britannia to chaos. Tribes and petty kings vie for control as Saxon invaders threaten the weakened borders. In the aftermath, King Arthur has united the clans under Camelot's banner, but the kingdom's ideals have withered. Arthur now seeks expansion by any means necessary, driven by untethered power and fear of the rising barbarian tide. The Knights of the Round Table, once defenders of the realm, have become oppressive agents of greed and corruption. It is a time of darkness and treachery as the dream of Camelot fades into legend. which happens. This kind of reminds me of another book, Once in Future, where it tells a similar tale of Arthur. Well, actually, he didn't go bad. He started out being bad. But I love that we get a bit of a backstory on Morian in this comic, but we also just see him kind of introduced. It reminded me in two parts of an anime, the first episode of an anime where you're introduced to a character, but also a Western when a gunslinger goes into town and he just wants a drink. He just wants a drink and trouble arises, which I love that I'm getting an anime Western influence in a medieval Arthurian story about a black man. That's a lot going on. That's a lot. But it definitely shows through the Arthurian legend and the magic that we see, and Morian's kind of struggles to just get from A to B at times and not taking shortcuts because he has a magical being with him who he could actually use his powers and go, well, I can just do this in a snap of a finger. He's like, no, I'm going to do it my way. And sometimes his way is killing monsters. And for those slayings, he actually get provisions like food, um, lodging, water, wine, ale, whatever they're imbibing that particular day. But it just has that feeling of it. Like I said in the beginning here, he's talking about how he can get things if you just ask him. He's like, no, because it's a heavy price to pay whenever you make a deal with the devil. Always a heavy price to pay. There's something else that came out. I was about to make a reference to another show that came out where a character made a deal with the devil and it's just going to be crazy. But Morian comes to town. They're like, hey, remove your cloak. Let's see what's going on. They're like, oh, black man, you. And it's that same type of feel of a Western. Going to town, you just want to drink. You just want to go into the bar and have a drink. They're like, no, you can't drink. Get out of here. We don't serve your kind. And then you show them what you're about. Either you've already taken out the bounty on whatever criminal is around, or in this case, killing this beast that has been running amok around. Running amok? Did I really say that? I'm a grown ass man. I said running amok. Jeez, going around killing people and showing this is what I have. And now because of that, he has a cart full of stuff. He even has is that a lamb or is that a sheep? Sheep? Let's say it's a sheep. Let's go with sheep. He's got bread, he's got drink, he's got all types of stuff there. Have you? And you get different chapters in this too, and it goes through different things where it'll talk about his these little snippets of adventures that he has throughout the comic. I absolutely loved it. Like I said, there's a great storytelling between Urias's scripting and wording of the story, and then Mateo's art. Mateo's art can do so much between action and adventure and even having a bit of a laugh. But you'll see in this scene, I love this part because this is a very action-packed scene where he goes after the werewolf and tells the story and how he just launches out. This is very anime-ish to me, very manga-ish, which I love. There's even another scene where even in this fight, well, you see this dog here, there's another scene I will show you if it comes up. And this is a man that he was having who came by his fireside and said, may I share the fire with you? And he began to tell it. And this is how he told him the story. And you see this man's scars and he's been through some stuff with scars like that. So this is Morian before everything happened, before this story happens, him running from these wild boars that have been enchanted. And there's a scene in particular that made me go, if I can get this in anime, I would lose my mind. It was this scene where, because I love how he goes after the boars, he even talks to this deer and says, calls him, king of the wood. The respect for nature is beautiful. I absolutely love that. But it's this part right here. When he cuts through each of them, I said, that's a scene I would need to see as he slices through them effortlessly. I recently just saw Ninja Scroll, and when I saw that, I said, that's it right there. That's what I would want. Morian is dope. I absolutely love it. Go get this. Just came out this week. I want to say I bought this Wednesday and I read it. He has a soft cover, obviously, but then also a digital copy. Digital copy you'll get right away, obviously. I'm digital copy, but I will be getting the soft cover as well, just because I want it. But this was so much fun, and again, it's an Arthurian legend with a feel of a Western and anime. There's incredible action. You're getting a depthness of a story because you know that there's more story there because it's based on these Arthurian characters. And there's a character at the end that you'll see that I'm not going to say who it is. There's a character at the end of the book that I was like, oh, now it's about to pick up. And much like an anime, when you watch it, you get that episode, that first episode, and you get all the cool fights and you get a little bit of backstory. You see that the series character appears, then boom, then this character's here. And I was like, oh, it's about to pick up. So yeah, so definitely go get Morian. Like I said, I've been waiting for this for a few years. So to have it out, I could not wait any longer. This was a definite fun read. Had a great time with it. So Morian, absolutely yes. Go check it out. Awesome stuff. Cool. All right. So wellness check Friday. Got to check on y'all. How are you doing? How was your week? You had a lot going on. I know I'm running over time. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're here. We are here. Okay. How are you feeling? How's everything going? How was work? I know. But always remember, you're doing what you got to do today so you can do what you want to do tomorrow. It's a building block, it's a stepping stone. Okay? All right. How the family, how the loved ones? Yeah. They be saying things like that sometimes, but you love them and they love you, but sometimes, yeah, they be saying some wild stuff. All right. How are you doing? Have you eaten? Have you drank water? Did you take your meds? I'm not trying to please you. I just want to make sure that you can be the best you that you can be. So whether that is for a physical, mental, or emotional ailment, I want you to take your medicine. Be the best you that you can be. An empty cup cannot pour into something else. If you're empty, you can't pour into whatever you want to do, which is a hobby, work, your loved ones, kids, your partners, whatever it is. You can't. Okay? So make sure that you're the best that you can be, not just for them, but for yourself, because you deserve to be that person. Okay? I believe in you. I do. I don't really have anything as far as like a tip. Just be good to yourself. Enjoy yourself. It's a rough week. Every week gets a little rougher. So, take care of yourself. Enjoy that. Breathe. Take some time. Have fun. All right? Because I believe in you. So, the bleak perspective, folks, is fairly simple and easy. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Thank you, Black women. I don't know what else y'all want me to say. Thank you. I love y'all. Love Black women. Black women have always been my biggest supporters. I've appreciated y'all. Everything that's happened ever since, when I wasn't my best self, Black women weren't fucking with me. Excuse my language. But I couldn't blame them because I wasn't that person. Once I really made a change, and I was like, you know what, this, not just started stripping myself down and going, all this isn't necessary. I just got to be this core self, just, be who I am, pay attention to who I got to be, do my thing, and not worry about everyone else's words and just be true to who I am. Black women started coming around me, speaking to me, talking to me, supporting me, because they saw that I was being my authentic self. They saw that I was being authentic to me. And that showed me a lot because I was like, oh, if y'all are talking to me, and I don't mean like it in a romantic sense, but just talking to me on a human being based level, I was like, then I'm doing it right. So I'm just going to keep doing this. And it's always been there. Black women have always been the biggest to support me, have words for me, be there, hold my hand, have given me the greatest love possible. And have just been, look, I love y'all like a fat kid love cake, to be honest with you. I love Black women like I love wine, dark and full bodied. The mask is slipping, apparently. Yeah, so thank y'all. Thank y'all truly for being there, for supporting me, for, teaching me about my own self and my image and how I deal with what I got to deal with. And also help me to dress better. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't. So thank you. I always appreciate y'all. You're amazing. Thank you. All right. So on that note, folks, we're gonna have a great shows next week. Next Friday, excuse me, next Wednesday, we're gonna have a TVA News Geek Culture Upfronts episode where we're gonna be talking about what we're excited to see in August. We'll also have a Hungry Blink episode on Friday, next Friday. I've got some interviews lined up. Just have to go through, see what we're going to do as far as scheduling, but I've got some really cool people, some returning guests, new guests. We're going to have fun with that. TVA News will be taking a break in August. Refreshing, getting ourselves set and ready. It's going to be hot. We need to rest. There's got to be a lot going on, a lot of cool things going on that are awesome, and we'll be that. Last thing I will say is shout out to Stephen Colbert and The Late Show. What is happening is BS, and it is because you have spoken a lot of truth and also given us laughs while telling this truth. And I think people would probably say that you've been the best host of The Late Show, aside from maybe Craig. And I mean, yeah, it's about 10 months, but that then the show will end, like not him being returned, like not him being replaced, but the show will completely end. It's BS. But your next step is going to be absolutely dastardly, and it's going to be cool. But another voice trying to be silenced by that idiot over there. Jesus. Anyway, folks, look, you have a very good evening. Thank you very much for coming in, checking out what's going on, listening to me, looking at me in a white t-shirt. I look ethereal, don't I? Like a ghost. I appreciate you all. Always, if you are not one of my usual pancake heads and you came in here and you just wanted to see what was going on, now you are part of the stack. You are an official pancake head. The stack? Really? Yeah, sure, why not? All right, so yes, you are part of that. Thank you very much for being part of it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate you. Go like, subscribe, share any episode that you like. I will be around. Crispy edges all day, man. You already know, man. All day. Crispy edges, golden brown, butter, and I almost said mayonnaise. Jeez. Molasses or syrup or honey. My father used to like to put honey on pancakes. I don't know. I'm sure it's not the only thing he put honey on. Folks, you have a very good evening. Enjoy the rest of it. I will see you later. Going to hell for that joke, probably. Actually, no. Said way worse things to go to hell for. Have a good evening. And remember, your story is not over yet, so please keep turning those pages and F Trump. I'll see y'all later. Peace.